All right, folks, so today for you, we have 8 pieces of ephemera. I'm going to show them all to you right here. Technically, they may or may not be ephemera. As you know, most people just refer to any paper at all as ephemera. Some of these were meant to be kept. Ephemera really is anything that's meant to be used once or twice or just displayed and then thrown out. Magazines, you might argue differently, but here we go. I'm going to show you all 8 of these pieces. I'm going to show you the front cover, and what we'll do is we will shine the light all along it here so you can see any creases, bends, marks, imperfections, etc. See perforations at the line. You can see any kind of, see how it's split here along the spine. We'll try to point out any of those issues to you. We'll do that for this first one. This is Mad Magazine, number 151 from June of '72, so almost 40 years old. Considering how bright that color is, real nice. It looks like a misprint. It was designed to look like a misprint, but it's not. You read the thing, and I'll let you do that later. You can pause, go back, rewind. We do this in high definition so that you can take your own time with it, but we want to go through as quick as possible. The next thing that we do is we always show you the back cover. Again, you can see these little spine ticking right here. Not really a ton of any kind of creases or anything. You can see little spots on it here. Has aged over the past half century. Good stuff right there. And then we will also give you just a smattering of what's inside. The main reason for that is I may call this cream, I may call this off-white, I may call this whatever it is that I call it. Doesn't matter. You're going to be the one that owns it. You're the one who's bidding on it. So whatever you consider this color to be is the most important thing. Can't do that unless I show it to you. So we show you just a couple of pages here so you get an idea of quality and condition of pages. There you go. That is Mad Magazine, number 151 from June of '72. And we're going to go through all of these in much the exact same way. We move right along to another issue of Mad Magazine, where obviously they're lampooning Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice. Familiar with that movie back in the day. This is November, I'm sorry, not November, it's number 137 from September of 1970. Just a little bit earlier than the previous magazine. You can see it's tough because it's a mostly white cover. But we'll still do our best to show you any kind of creasing. And you see it right up in here. You see it right in here a little bit. Of course, down here, I'll show you the spine. Ooh, not looking good on those staples. A bit of rusting and some water damage on the staples. Flip it over on the back, and oh, some Don Martin art. Don Martin fans. Back in the day, you can see more or less the same as we shine the light on it here. Looking pretty good. I think the back cover is probably doing a little bit better than the front cover, but both are pretty good given the age of this. Some more Don Martin art. What? Is that a cut? Nope, that's a line in the art. I thought that might have been cut in the paper. And as you would expect, mostly black and white. Quality and condition right here. Whistler's other reproduction here. And then just that little bit of color that sometimes would make it into the magazine cover pages. Speaking of covers, the next up we have this one. This is Cycle Tunes. The most glaring issue is obviously it is missing its cover. It's number 2 from April of 1968. Missing the cover, sadly. Oh, and we can see why, because the staples pretty good and rusted. One. See, it's got some yellowing around the edges. It's obviously been around, but again, after 50 some odd years, I hope to be in at least this good a condition. Flip it over on the back. We're not really seeing the cover in that case. Put a tear right here. How many pages deep? Not just one page. We'll show you the pages themselves, just for quality and condition. Get a good idea. It's a nice one just to pick up and read, especially if you like these kind of cycle tunes. They're always so fun. But I don't think this is one you're going to want to send in to get. Next up, what do we got? We've got some older comics. I'm going to put a backer behind this just so it pops a little bit from the background. You'll be able to see things a little bit better. This way you can see the edges a little bit more clearly. right here, and I'll point that out in a moment. This is Love Confessions from September that year. I think 1949 was that year. 1952. Close. Off by 3 years. And it is number 20. Point out first, there is somebody signed it right there, and I suspect not the artist or anyone involved. I think that was probably, can't tell what that says. Let's say it says Selena. I suspect it was Selena's copy, if that is indeed what it says. I think that was a signature. I think that was just somebody claiming it. See a little bit of issues on the cover, but all around, not too bad given its age. 70-year-old comic book still has pretty good color to it. Staples. Not a ton of ticking on the spine, surprisingly. We'll flip it over and I'll show you the big glaring issue on this particular issue. Not too bad right here. Rock Garden advertisement, but you can see it's gotten some moisture, so it's obviously gotten a little bit of water damage. That has led to this. Is that a little student marks there? It might possibly be. Chewed a little bit. How far does that go? Well, through at least that far into. Obviously, it detracts from it. Sad. Look at the colors on this. Look at the pages all around. A nice copy. You're missing this in your collection. This is a great filler until you decide to go get a graded one. Overall, cool. This is September 52 for 23. Love Confession. Moving right along. Some classics illustrated. Everybody always loves them. Great way to get the kids reading and learning. It was number 95. This is from what year? I believe we have it in the catalog. What year? I don't have it offhand here, but it is number 95, All Quiet on the Western Front. Let's show you the cover. These tend to get beat up. And though this one has its fair share of wear, it is actually in pretty outstanding shape for one of these classic illustrated. Especially since Junior would take it, creasing right there, right here, take it to bed and read it at night. Throw it in his back pocket, take it to school. These tended to get just absolutely destroyed. So overall, this one's not in too bad a shape by those standards. By the standards of AFA or reading folks out there, may not be the best one. I think it's a looking piece. Let's take a look at the insides here. It was a pretty innovative panel layout for its day. Arlen panels back then. We'll show you this, some quality and condition story going on if you're familiar with the novel. So all around fun. We're moving right along to a neat piece. Treasure Chest. They did all kinds of crazy things with the way they would number year to year. They changed it at least 3 times during the run of this. This was a mostly religious tract. Stay spiritual track. This is Treasure Chest, Volume 21, November 18th from 1965. See the Big O playing for the oh, and it looks like Johnny got this, but I did not see that before. I want you to see that. See a little bit of scratching all around. See some bends right here. It's tough on a bright color cover like this. Point it out best we can. We'll show you the back. A little bit better on the back. Okay. Robertson right here, the Big O. Played for, I don't know who he would have been playing for at this time, but eventually played for Cincinnati Royals. Sports fan, a basketball fan. Check this one out. Pretty fun to have photo cover like that. And then we'll show you the rest. Quality and condition, obviously. Athletics. And then finally, now, new science fair story of electronics. This a little bit newer, 78, I believe. Yes, 1978 by Tandy, if you recall. TI calculators, or the TRS-80 computer back in the day. Texas. Pretty neat little thing. It was just a way to explain to the kids. I'll show you quickly the cover. This is this I suspect might legitimately be Ephemera. Meant just to teach the kids a little bit about science, kind of like a pamphlet. Get thrown, moved on. See, it's got quite a bit of ticking right here on the spine. Issues here and there, not in the best of shape. A fun little piece. I want to get inside of it because it's cool. Oh, interesting right here. Order more. And of course, a great way for Tandy to sell its electronic products. Electronic. Point out right here all of this stuff, and we'll see the quality and is cool right there. Before we move on to our last piece in this particular bunch, a little bit out of the ordinary for us. This is Amazing Spider-Man Collector's Album. What's that? Oh, the digest form. Show you the front. It's a square bound, obviously, so you're gonna have a little less ticking you might normally in some of the comic books. Do have a little bit of issues. That was a tear. Appears to just be a scratch. Either way, it does detract a little bit. Where right here, this is more of an illustrated book than it is a comic book. We'll flip it over on the back. And again, it's from Lancer. Exactly like inside. Printed in a way that makes it fit the form. Black and white version. Spidey comic. You true believers out there, you collectors of Spider-Man that gotta have it all, you completists, this is going to be the one for you. So check those out. We'll bring them all back here. You can see them one last time. Well, that's not true. You can see them all day, every day once you own them. And you can do that by heading on over to TheBigToyAuction.com. As you see here on the bottom of your screen, leave your pre-bids right here, right now. These are live and ready to go. Or you can join us live on the auction day and defend your bid time. That's the best way to make sure that you get all of this into your collection. Head on over there and do it right now. Look forward to seeing you. Auction.